A very warm and a hearty welcome to the YouTube channel of the Green On Academy. In today's session, we'll make an attempt to explain what should be the right approach while you're writing your self description. Hope it brings you one step closer in achieving your dreams. So, let's begin. Candidates, so far, so good. We have understood what is self description in the stage 1. In the second stage, we have discussed why self description is important in the psychological test, both from the candidate as well as from the psychologist's perspective. In the stage 3, we'll try to uncover the mystery with respect to what should be the right approach in writing your self description. Before we move on to the subject proper, we assume you have gone through the first two stages, that is the what is self description and why it is important, so that you could easily assimilate and it would lead to effective learning. With this, we begin the right approach in self description. Boys and girls, let's discuss the right approach to self description in steps or the methodology which needs to be adopted. First and the foremost, do not copy someone else's self description either from the video or the content available in the web. Second, you are supposed to begin with in writing whatever comes to your mind, but however original in true essence under the 5 paragraphs. Third, once you are writing, try to be precise as much as possible. Fourth step, try to understand what does this different set of peoples, which means parents, your teacher stroke the employer, your friends, means to you, and what is your relation and what is the requirement of this relation. In the next step, once you have understood the first four, carry out an introspection with respect to what could be added or what could be deleted after understanding what is the relations amongst the group of people. In the next step, try to rephrase or select the right words, because most of the time there is nothing wrong with someone's personality. It is the choice of words by which the things get communicated in a different perspective. Next, even once you are carrying out additions or deletions and rephrasing of the words, try to be realistic and genuine. No wrong information or a fake information to give a masked personality so that the psychologist will get impressed. There is no use in impressing the psychologist. One way or the another, he will be able to find out your true personality and match your true personality with the 15 different officer-like qualities which have been benchmarked by the system. Last but the most important, identify your shortcomings. And when are you doing so, please also find out ways and means and the methodology. How are you going to overcome your shortcomings with respect to your insights, and what are your motivation levels to overcome the shortcomings, and how with the right training in the defense academies, how these shortcomings will be negated or mitigated to the extent possible over a period of time. Candidates, after understanding the methodology, how to write your self description, let's discuss these methodology in terms of the various aspects which can be highlighted to make a perfect self description. First, Communicate with your parents, teacher, friends, and colleagues with respect to how they feel about you in terms of the positive and the negative opinions about you. Second, you should be truthful in your approach and should accept frank and fair opinion of a number of teachers, friends, and colleagues. In the process of doing so, never try to bluff about any of your qualities, as the psychologist will able to find it out sooner or the later. As told earlier, never copy your self description from a book or from the internet, as you might fail to remember the same once you are writing your self description during the SSB interview. Next, your personal interview will be slightly based on your self description once the interviewing officer is trying to find out your insights and the motivation level. In the interview, the interviewing officer will read this before before he enters the interview, and he will ask or cross-examine you with respect to your self-description by triggering various types of questions based on it. So be careful what you write. Further, be strict on what you have written because it has been written after a long analysis, and you must defend what you have written. Do not contradict your self-description during your personal interview as a method of last minute learning or last minute knowing about yourself. So defend what you have written. Next, emphasize on your personality traits, which means mention your accomplishments in short sentences in terms of your positive personal traits for which you are enthusiastic about. Talk briefly about how you grew up and your value system in your family. Ladies and gentlemen, there is subtle difference between being innocent and being stupid. I like to amplify it. You do not use negative points. For example, sir, I lack communication skills. Do not try to bring it in form of your negative points, in form of your emotions and qualities. Write simple sentences with respect to your weaknesses are concerned. To nullify it, use negative traits such as I have participated less in the extracurricular activities which I will like to improve in my future. I am slightly shy or I am slightly introvert. These are the better examples of negative points. Or rather than writing, I do not make friends, I do not gel upon with strangers. Never make such broad brush remarks. The next point would be English and grammar. Use appropriate language and grammar with respect to selection of words and choice of words. It has been seen by assessors like us that candidates make mistake while selecting the words rather than the meaning they want to communicate with those words. Next, on personal opinions, you can write, I want to improve my physical stamina, general awareness, or your performance in studies, sports, or extracurricular activities, and how I'm going to achieve my goal while countering or nullifying my shortcomings. Next, and the most important, during the conduct of the self description, after the TAT has taken place, the WAT has taken place, and the SRT has taken place, your self description would be the last step. So listen to the instructions given by the psychologist very carefully on that day. There might be certain change in the sequence of the paragraph, or it could be any other thing. Do not start writing as and when the psychologist starts briefing. Listen to him because there's an ample and adequate time given to you to write those 5 paragraphs in 15 minutes. So do not try to jump the gun. Before we dwell any further on the subject, first let us understand the human behavior and the psychology of your relations with your parents, with your friends, with your teachers, stroke the employers. Because most of the time it is seen that the candidate doesn't know what the other set of people think about him and he writes in haphazard manner, not considering that is not the relationship or the human behavior aspect which he can give you opinion about. For example, a teacher cannot, most of the times, a teacher cannot give an, an opinion about the factor called courage. So let's understand your emotions and your relations with respect to the human behavior aspect of your personality with your parents. When a child is born, it is totally dependent upon his parents for everything. The first concern for any parent would be to make his child independent or self-reliant with respect to their dependency on their parents. Once the child gradually grows and he becomes reasonably self-reliant in terms of undertaking day-to-day routine activities, the next concern for the parents would be the child is growing and he has to cope up with the society. So the next logical line or their human behavior aspect would be in terms of dwelling or strengthening their child's academic and the physical abilities. If a child has grown well and gains certain amount of maturity, then parents even start consulting him in terms of the domestic decision making process. So this point should figure next in your self description about the opinion of your parents about you. Next, if a youth, be it a lady or a gentleman, if he is doing well and growing well, he should choose a career of his choice and gain indication to be competent in it. Hence, that should be a next line about your parents' opinion. Here, the issue of responsibility towards the family should also be touched upon because the parents' concern in continuum of the youth growth is whether the youth has imbibed good values and what does the value system of the family brings a good name to the family or not. So these are the concerns of a parent or toward the psychological and the human behavior aspect of the parent as the child is growing from a newborn infant till the time he reaches his maturity. We would request and recommend you to write your opinion or your opinion about or your parents' opinion about you in the following manner and gradually build it up. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, once you are writing your opinion from the parents or parents' opinion about you, the parents could touch upon the point with respect to your attitude in terms of your sincere, casual, honest. Whether are you good, whether are you independent, how is your performance in your academics, how is your confidence, do you take responsibility towards the family members, do you contribute or how are you contributing towards the family issues and the growth of the family per se, what are your habits, what are your life skills. So these are the points which you must deliberate your self discussion with respect to your parents' opinion about you. Now let's understand what are the teachers expectation from a normal child once he enters the class, and the further gradual building up of the expectation from a good student for writing your teacher's opinion about you. Let's begin with the first requirement for a teacher from a student is that he or she should not be a trouble creator. Thus, punctuality, proper dressing, and discipline are the first initial expectation from an average student by a teacher. Once the student meets the first criteria, the second criteria or the expectation from the student would be he should be intelligent and should become academic proficient. Third, once he achieves the first two criteria, the teacher's expectation would be that he should become proficient in the extracurricular activities. Teachers also note the social adjustment dimensions of the student. They would also, as the student grows from class 5th onwards to class 12th, the teacher also expect them to take on the roles of monitor, prefect, sports captain, and that gives them the leverage of the leadership role. However, the leadership roles will be more pronounced in case of boarders, because in case of boarders, they spend most of their time in the hostels or in sport fields or within the premises of the school. So in case of a boarder, this leadership roles assigned by their teachers to the students gains significantly. So once you are writing your self-description about your teacher's opinion about you, you should try to attempt in the following sequence. Now teachers with respect to any student can comment with respect to his attitude, with respect to his how he behaves in the class in terms of punctual discipline. They can also throw some light on your confidence levels, whether how confident you are. Are you take does the student take responsibilities in terms of the extracurricular activities, sports, and games? Is he cooperative or of helping nature? Does he have good or bad communication skills, wherein he takes part in debates and declamations in the school? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's discuss the opinion of your employer about you. Like the teacher, the employer's first criteria from an employee would be punctuality and discipline. His next criteria would be whether are you performing the job content and the role for which you have been hired, and should he consider you as a reliable worker comes next. Once any employee is able or foresee that an employee is matching the first two criteria, he would expect that a higher caliber employee would be willing to shoulder additional responsibilities and work. He should also behave and portray himself as an asset to the employer in guiding or supervising other workers and creating a cooperative and enhanced work environment. A top level employee would take on the leadership role, and he should be suited for higher appointment by the employer. Therefore, once you are writing your self description with respect to your employer's opinion about you, you should cover in the following steps. Let's examine the comments which an employer can make or offer with respect to an employee. He can make comment on your effective intelligence in terms of your attitude, in terms of your mental stamina with respect to the willpower and dedication. He can comment on how are you able to create a nice working environment which which gives rise to productivity. He may also comment on whether the employee accepts responsibilities and shoulders additional responsibilities in terms of how he is completing the task, what is the dedication and the zeal and the enthusiasm shown by the employee with respect to the task allotted. He can also comment upon your professional skill set. Now let's understand from the friend's perspective. The perspective or the opinion of the your friends in terms of the qualities differ very largely from what has been exhibited by your parents and teachers. In case of friendship, the first criteria for friends is trust in good times or in times of need. The next come your cooperative behavior or your helping nature in terms of academics, professional, and the personal issues. In case of friends, it also matters how you are as a company. People, do people wish to be in your company? And which implies you have qualities like cheerfulness, enthusiasm for, and curiosity. Friends also admire high competence in any field and are proud to be associated with friends who are confident, competent, and reliable people. Therefore, one must include all these aspects in your self descriptions once you are writing your friend's opinion about you. Further, friends may also render some genuine advice for your betterment and may also seek the same. We must take cognizance of all the points and include them to make a fairly well structured and so that it appears you are a well rounded personality. Candidates, let's see what are the facets or the human behavior aspects of friendship. In terms of your cooperation, he can comment on whether will you be helping him in case of need. Does he see you as trustworthy, dependable? He can comment so also in terms of your large day-to-do habits. Friendship is first governed by the principle of liveliness. Whether and how are you contributing to the group in terms of are you cheerful and a humorous personality? Are you fun-loving, outgoing, and an adventurous personality? The friends can also comment in terms of your mental stamina, or sorry, in terms of your physical stamina. How he sees you in terms of your physical fitness, in terms of your participation in sports and game, and what are your physical attributes. Ladies and gentlemen, so far we have covered how does your parents, your teachers, your employees, and your friends think about you, and what is their opinion about you. Now, we'll be dwelling upon the last but the most important facet of the self description, that is your own self opinion, or what do you think about yourself as a personality or as an individual. Second, what is your aim in life? What are your shortcomings or weaknesses, and how would you like to improve them? Ladies and gentlemen, in case of Self-opinion, one has to see it's a summation of the opinion of all the above facets. It should include major points which has been touched upon in terms of opinion of parents, teachers, and the friends. The positive point should be covered under own or the self opinion, and the negative point should be covered under aspect I want to improve. And along with the roadmap, how are you going to improve so that a person who has got both insight about his weaknesses or shortcomings with the right motivation levels can improve upon the shortcomings over a considered period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we have come to the stage 3 of the self description, that is the right approach in writing your self description. Before we conclude, we'd like to say believe in yourself. That is the most important aspect of your life. Believe in yourself, what you have learned, your value systems, and be you in your self description. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we have come to the end of stage 3 of the self description, wherein the methodology, steps, and the various tenets of the human behavior with different set of people has been covered in great depth, and how one should frame or take an approach in writing a perfect self description. In our next stage, we will be covering what are the common mistakes which the aspirants make once they are writing their self description. Thank you for being with us, and in case you like our videos and they help you in getting one step closer in achieving your dreams of putting on the uniform, we would request you to like our videos, subscribe our videos, and share with your friends. With this, we conclude. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay blessed. Jai Hind.